Whoa there, Space Cowboy. Brokeback Bebop is a podcast with explicit content intended only for mature bounty hunters. Listener discretion is advised. Listen to all 40 steamy sessions of the show right now by supporting Brokeback Bebop at patreon.com/can'tdisappointpodcast.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Fearless! Whew. Hey everybody out there, I'm Cream Cheese Sally, and welcome on back into another episode, sipping our lemonade on the porch right here on the Brokeback Bebop. How you doing, Steven?
I'm good, I'm Steven, and
I'll kill that bitch!
with kindness.
With podcasting. We're back to talk about yet another live-action installment of the 2021 Netflix Cowboy Bebop revival, and there's a lot to get into, but before we talk about it, is there anything on your mind, Steven? Anything in the anime world from a undisclosed period of time that you'd like to talk about?
I do, I'm finally all the way caught up with all the anime I'm watching this season. Danny and I went through a lot yesterday and caught up on the two shows we watched together. So Chainsaw Man, still awesome. Mob Psycho 100, this season is great so far. I wasn't feeling well and my throat was really sore last week, real world time. And I laughed, like belly laughed so hard for like 10 minutes about one joke on Mob Psycho.
I didn't know that show was that funny.
So, for those who don't know, it's by the same author as One Punch Man.
Okay. I knew that was funny.
And he's hilarious. Because it has so much heart and so much great action and animation, but at its core, it is a comedy. It made me laugh so hard. I was like crying, like in pain, laughing so hard from one joke that was so stupid, but the build up and the payoff was great. I'm caught up on Blue Lock. Did I talk about Blue Lock on here, the soccer show?
I don't remember.
Basically, Japan's like, our national team sucks. We need to groom this like perfect striker who's gonna win us the World Cup. So they take like 300 like teenage boys and they put them in this like building that they can't leave, and they make them play soccer together. And like there's like a tournament with like rankings, and whoever the number one is going to be Japan's next like soccer superstar. So all these boys are like risking their careers, because if you don't win, you can never play for the national team. Them's the rules. So kiss your chances goodbye. I guess it doesn't really make any sense. Why couldn't they still play for the national team? You don't only have one player on the team, but whatever.
Right.
But it's interesting. It's really entertaining. I think that it like the story's cool. I don't watch a ton of sports anime, but that's one that I'm liking quite a bit. And then Spy Family, every episode will make you laugh and tear up. It's just so good. It's so wholesome and sweet, but it's a really cool story. That's the one that's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but the wife is an assassin and the kid is
and the
a
dog
telepath.
is
the dog
Hitler
can see
or
the
something?
future. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a whole fucking thing, but it's really funny and really cute. My Hero Academia right now is in one of my favorite arcs in the manga. It's some really cool fight stuff, so it's popping off as well. So really good season of anime right now, which is really exciting.
So let me ask you, Steven. Cowboy Bebop now is like the first anime that I've watched all the way through, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to be a person that's watching a bunch of anime.
Sure.
Yeah, I just don't have it in me. I have a much deeper respect for it now, and I admire it, but I just don't think I have it in me. I haven't spent enough time watching it to this point.
Yeah.
But I probably will look for another one to watch, regardless of how long it is, and I would look to you for guidance. What do you think should be like the one show that I commit to and watch through now that I've done Bebop?
I think the next one for you should either be Samurai Champloo, which is a successor to Bebop. I think that'd be a nice trajectory for you anime-wise. I think Konosuba is a great option.
Is that the Always Sunny one?
Yeah. I think you'd really enjoy Mob Psycho. Honestly, I think the look at emotions and emotional awareness in that show is way smarter than it should be for what the show is. It's really terrific.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. Anything else you want to get into before we get into the program that we're here to discuss today?
I think I'm ready to rock and roll, but only on one condition, Zach.
Oh, what's the condition?
Only on one condition. Your wife's gonna sing for me.
Yeah, that could be arranged. We could do that. We could squeeze that in.
Find a wife.
I'll get married real quick.
Yeah.
No big deal. Today we're talking about the 5th episode of the Netflix revival of Cowboy Bebop. This episode is called Darkside Tango. It was directed by Alex Garcia Lopez, who's directed a few already. He directed Cowboy Gospel, the first episode, and Venus Pop, which is another one
It's called
we talked
Cowboy
about.
Bebop's the name of the show.
And after this episode, he directs 2 more, Galileo Hustle and Sad Clown A Go-Go.
Oh.
Can't wait for that one. Sounds like a
Yeah.
lot of fun. This episode was written by Liz Sagel. This is her only writing credit on this show, but she has writing credits on all kinds of shows, like Mad About You. She wrote on that. Was it Ryan Reynolds? He was on that show, 2 Guys, a Gal, and a Pizza Place.
Yeah, shit. I
She
remember
wrote
that
on that.
existing.
She wrote episodes of Monk. She wrote
Ooh, I love
episodes
Monk.
of Charmed and episodes of Sons of Anarchy. And nowadays she's writing for that Kaylee Cuoco show, The Flight Attendant.
Oh, I didn't know that existed.
It does.
You like Kaylee Cuoco?
I mean, I don't like The Big Bang Theory, and that's the only thing I've seen her in.
Sure.
But it's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
This episode aired with the rest of the season on November 19th, 2021 on Netflix. And let's do it, buddy. Let's do some trivia.
Trivia. I have 3 questions for you, Zach.
I've got 4, so I'll kick it off.
Yeah, why don't you start? You've got 4. You ask the first one.
Seeing that I have 4, I will. What is Jet's police ranking
Oh,
in the flashback?
He was a lieutenant?
Yes.
Hey, yeah. I
Hey,
almost
yeah.
said sergeant. But no, he's
You got it
Lieutenant
right.
Jet Black. What is Jet's daughter's name short for?
I don't know what her name is. Little Walking Sally? Is it short for Sally Fur? Sally Fur. Final answer.
No, her name is Kimmy, and it's not
Really?
short for anything. Not Kimberly, not Kimbra, not Kimmel. It's just Kimmy. There was a whole scene where he was like, we finally picked a name, because it was before the daughter was born. He's like,
Oh,
what is
yeah.
it? He's like, Kimmy. He's like, what's that short for? Kimberly, Kimbra, Kimmel? He said, no, just Kimmy. And that was the scene. They were walking up some stairs.
I remember the scene now. I remember him saying Kimmel, and then I
Yeah.
would start thinking about Jimmy Kimmel, and then I forgot all about Kimmy.
Yeah, that's fair.
What is Fat Elvis's bounty?
That is my second question as well. A crisp 32 million.
correct.
I've got a tough one for you, and I don't think you'll get it.
Wow.
What
You
other
will think.
anime was referenced in the Bounty Rundown?
I am just gonna pull a guess flat out of my ass because
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea because I don't even know to look for
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm gonna guess One Piece.
You bitch, you're right.
Is that right?
Do you know what it was?
No, I literally just guessed an anime.
Wow, and I never have talked about One Piece on here ever. So
That's
a
what
pull.
happens when you doubt me, you son of a bitch.
Wow, I'm so impressed. Yeah, Tony Chopper.
Yeah, I know all about it,
Tony the
obviously.
Chopper is one of the main characters on One Piece. He's like a little reindeer dude.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
cool. And I had no idea.
Not to confuse with Barry the Chopper from Full Metal Alchemist.
Or Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes.
I can't turn my arm. There we go.
I've got another question for you.
They're
How
great.
much are the teeth?
Oh, that's like $90K a pop.
$90K a pop. That's a lot for teeth.
That's a lot. Per tooth? Shit.
Any more from you?
That's all I got. Hit me with your last one.
All right. What was the opium infused with?
Ooh, Gaydon.
Gaydon. Just like the One Piece thing, Steven, you did it. You're a genius. No. X9. obviously.
X9.
They're
Sorry, I was
gonna
going
be
with the
tripping
scientific
for 12
name.
hours. Who didn't pay that close of attention to the episode? Now.
Sorry, I was too busy at that point trying to figure
Thinking
out
about Jimmy Kimmel.
if anybody in the world doesn't know how this episode's going to end, because it took me about, 3 seconds in when they were in the car together to know, oh, this guy's going to
We can't trust that guy.
Yeah. A white guy who doesn't know who Charlie Parker is? Not on my watch. Well, that's all of our trivia for today, which means it brings us to a very special time on the show. We're going to find out something we've all been wondering. Zach, do you know what we're going to find out?
I think I do, but why don't you let me know just in case?
We're going to find out, did Zach comprehend the episode this week? Which, based on trivia, I think he did okay with.
Yeah, here's what I'll say, though. Did I comprehend the episode this week? Sure. How comprehensible am I right this moment?
There's like 3 plot lines, right?
Yeah, there's like 3 plot lines, but
there's an A, B, and C plot.
Daddy's
in this
a little.
episode, Zach.
Daddy's had a little nip of the milk of the marijuana plant.
Milk of the poppy.
And yeah, my X9 laced opium is just coursing through my veins, so Daddy's a little foggy. We'll see what we can get.
Alrighty, well, you've got 20 seconds, Zach, to convey to me that you had a solid understanding. I'll be grading you on your understanding of the episode, your comprehension. This is just like iStep. I hope you get a Pass Plus.
Yeah, come on the show. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, we love standardized testing. Yep. That's how you tell if kids are smart. Okay, Zach, are you ready?
Okay.
No sharing answers.
Okay.
You must use a number 2.
Did you cheat
not
in class
number
a lot?
3?
You sure did, you little rascally son of a bitch, didn't you?
Me?
Did you cheat? Yeah. Or were you the here's all the answers guy?
I was the here's all the answers guy.
But you cheated sometimes, though, right?
I cheated when I didn't do the homework. I'd copy someone else's because I thought homework was stupid. But on tests, I repaid it by giving people answers on tests.
How did you get away with it?
Okay, my most complex system ever of cheating that I was very impressed with. I had a friend, and we were in the same class together, and he was just not going to do well on these exams. But I knew the subject pretty well. So it was multiple choice. So he would tap the number of what question he was on, and then I would tap a number of times corresponding to A, B, C, or D.
And then you'd both get back like F minuses.
Teacher's like, well, that's fucking obvious.
That's clever, sure, but I feel like
well, it was more
while,
like
why
I
the
got a
fuck
pencil
are
and I'm like,
Steven and his idiot friend tapping over and over again. I just
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I've
never
and I'd be
known
like, all right, to be the most subtle person.
No, I'm sure it was clear, but also teachers don't give a shit.
I can just hear like while that's happening, like the other person starting to scribble, and you going, no, tap tap,
no, tap tap tap, tap. None of the above.
So what's my grade?
We didn't go yet. You almost got
no,
me.
I think I went B+, right?
Tap tap tap. All right, Zach, are you ready?
Nope.
A tap tap tap. 3, 2, 1, go.
Jets passed as a cop searching after dirty cops, got him too close and got him pegged as the dirty cop and taken away and left for dead. In the present, he's with his old partner going after the man that he's connected to this for years, finds out his partner was one of the dirty cops all along and that he's bad guy, kills him, boom, boom, dead. Meanwhile, I guess Spikin... all I was going to say is I guess Spike and Faye hung out.
Yeah.
And I could have said something about
Vish's name.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to dock a couple points because I was really hoping that you were going to finish every sentence with dirty cop because I liked that. I liked the little cadence of that.
Thank you.
That one probably is going to get a solid big ol' black D from me.
You think it's that bad? I feel like I got a lot of the Jet storyline, and that's the heavy
You
A
did get
plot.
1/3 of the episode.
I would not say that's 1/3 of the episode. I would say
Screen time,
that's,
do the math.
I would
tell
say
me it was
that's
more than half?
I absolutely think we weren't talking half. We were talking thirds. And yes, I think without
Zach, let me rephrase. You got half the episode. So I'll give you 50% credit. So your D has been downgraded.
Usually I feel like you give me a fair grade. I feel like I was in the C range there. But you know what? That's for me and everybody else that listens to this podcast to think. And,
yeah,
and for you to live with for the rest of your life.
You know what, Zach? On second thought, my original fraction was wrong. I give you a D+.
Oh my god! I don't want your fucking
better?
charity.
You're gonna get it.
Well, thanks. I tried really hard. I think I did the best I could. Let's talk about this episode. meh, right?
Yeah, here's what I want to say.
Yeah.
The premise, okay, we're learning about Jet's past. He has to reconnect with an old partner. He was betrayed. Sure. I'm for all of that.
Great.
But the execution.
Sure.
It was obvious from 3 minutes in to anybody. You know, let's say they're not quite the aficionados that you and I are, Zach. Let's say that they're a layman. Just, I don't know the show. I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, Jet got shot by somebody. Well, who's not in the fucking frame? Oh, he went to jail, so clearly somebody didn't say what the fuck happened, and the only one there who could have said, no, Jet's not bad, he was with me, is his partner.
Well, I don't even think the episode is really trying to keep that secret from us. I think they want us to have figured it out pretty early, but that kind of begs the question of, then is that a good story to tell if you know the outcome very early on? I don't know. Yeah.
Honestly, the Jet part of this was my least favorite of the 3 storylines.
Which because it was boring? Something. Is that what you think?
I thought it was boring. I thought that the lines were bad. I thought that the thread they were following was stupid.
I think this is one of the lesser episodes so far, but in a different way than whichever 2 episodes ago the one that I really disliked was. Because the A plot, yeah, I'm with you that there's not a lot of intrigue to it and it kind of meanders and it's kind of boring. And the B plot is just 2 characters hanging out and the timing of the dialogue is still pretty off, I think. It's not like off the cuff and silly enough to be very much fun.
I'll say, that was my favorite part of the episode.
Sure.
I enjoyed their dialogue together. I enjoyed the chemistry building. I really enjoyed Faye. I thought she was really funny in this episode.
All I'm saying is I don't disagree with you, but if that's the best part of this episode...
That's not an episode.
I don't think it's... Exactly. I don't think there's a lot of interest going on here. What's Vicious's thing first? Literally... The only, obviously, the Jet stuff gives us his backstory and how he got here. The only other thing, to my eye, of note from this episode to carry away from it is that now Julia knows Spike is alive.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And that's
here's
the
what
last
I don't
moment.
Get.
Okay.
In the anime, there's like an underlying plot of Vicious planning to stage a coup in the Syndicate.
Yes.
They've made that like very forefront in this show, and I don't really know why. Because
they decided Vicious and Julia were main characters for some reason, and the original material doesn't give them anything else to do other than stage that coup, and instead of coming up with new compelling stories for... Like, how cool would it to... I feel like you could be giving Vicious cool, like, Syndicate action-heavy
have
scenes
him going
and
in, like,
storylines.
Building power and
Instead
swaying
of doing
the
that, they're
factions
taking
of the
the 2
Syndicate.
things that we know about that character and really stretching it out.
I would have loved a version of this episode where you actually get to see Spike and Faye go on a bounty together, even if it's like 10 minutes of it or 5 minutes.
Instead of
I would
them
have
just
loved
hanging out, talking about maybe sort of doing it. Yeah, I agree.
I think that, we could have had a little bit of the bonding, and then after she tells that cool story, they go and try and get somebody, and we find out that she was lying and he was lying about stuff, and they bond over that. Like that, boom.
You're welcome. 45-minute episode.
And it felt like 45 minutes.
Yeah, and there's so many things they could have done to fill that time within these 3 storylines. I don't know.
Why did Mao, she was like, all right, Vicious, good deal. I like what you're offering, but the answer is no, unless your girl sings to me. And he's like, she will not fucking sing for you. And she was like, well, but then Fearless had a bigger dick than you. And he was like, I'm leaving. And she was like,
let's get into some of that stuff. What were some of the Cowboy Bebop Netflixisms in this one? Obviously, there's the whole runner of the villain who... Okay, so, like, you could have a villain who's like, I cut people's testicles off with this sharp knife. That's scary. That's campy. Whatever. But that they make him, like, really kinky about it. And he's like, you haven't felt power until you cut a man who's wronged you's scrotum off.
You have to eat it. He said, till you taste.
Oh, yeah, you taste it.
You gotta put that shit in your mouth.
And as I said to Steven when we watched it, of course, I know and understand all about how tasting the balls of a man who has wronged you does change dynamics quite a bit. But I wouldn't cut him off, I don't think.
No, just leave him there.
Yeah, just leave him there. I'll suck him, I'll twist him, I'll tug him. I'm not gonna cut him.
Not gonna cut him.
No.
What a waste. Yeah, that was really weird. There was just a lot of weird things. Oh, hey, something you didn't mention.
Okay.
On the bounty board, we had Tony Chopper. There was fucking Cowboy Andy.
Oh, yeah, I did notice that. That's one of the few things that I thought was funny in this episode when it's the big shot thing and they're like, oh, bad news. 6 people just got killed and they like take them off the board and then feed them into this machine. And there's like a light. I don't know. That part was pretty silly.
That was funny. That was like from a Dr. Seuss movie. That shit was hilarious.
It was like dark and funny. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Let's see. What else did I like about the episode? I liked when they were playing A Night in Tunisia. That was cool, the Charlie Parker thing. But they didn't even really go... They like half talked about it. Then at the end, when Jet had he's like, Charlie was the better player. Were they arguing about who was better? He didn't know who the fuck he was. So how is he going to say...
I also thought it was really ham-fisted, the part when... And that's what this person was playing in Bebop. Is what I'm talking. Bebop, do you get it?
The B and then Bebop with the hi-hat, no bass drum, Bebop.
Because, it used to be you watch Cowboy Bebop and then you have a cool friend like Steven who's like, well, did you know that Bebop is a musical term and that's why the ship's named that and that's why the show works this way? Whereas the Netflix show's like, Bebop's the name and jazz music's the game.
I'm a jet black and I like a jazz and that's why I named my ship the Bebop. I'm always talking about Charlie Bird. Ooh, Charlie Bird Parker. Whoa. Chill the fuck out, Jet. You're working right now. You're at work. Don't play your jazz tapes. You're looking for a murderer. He's like, he switches. He's playing 8/16 and triples.
This is
all
a
at the
show
same
that plays
time.
so fast and loose with the concept of murder. When Jet gets like caught by the dude that's fucking his wife at the end of the episode, he's like, did that dude kill that dude? Jet's like, yep.
Yeah.
And he's like, did you kill him? Yep. Because like, all right, now I've heard enough.
Okay, pack it up.
So what are we learning here? That there's something nefarious to Mr. fucking Jet's wife. He's a dirty cop, I believe.
No. The dirty cop was the guy that shot Jet.
Right, but there's the thing where the fucking Jet's wife guy, who I'll ever refuse to learn that absolute Chad of a man's name, when he was like, and you just killed the only person who could clear your name.
Yeah, because they can't, just because they know that it was a dirty cop and that he shot Jet and that Jet didn't do anything bad, they can't tell anyone that, Zachary.
Why?
They weren't there. It's
know.
all hearsay.
Fine.
Also,
You're
what
right.
clearing his name do? He was already in jail. He's gonna become a fucking cop again and work with the guy who's boning his wife, who's celebrating birthdays with his daughter Kimmy. You think he wants to be partners with him?
For when he's busy spending time with Kimmel Black. Yeah, this episode and this series is not a lot of fun for me. It's like trying to be fun and zany, but it doesn't have a good sense of humor, and it's also not a compelling sci-fi drama or procedural. It feels like cosplay is what it feels like. It feels like cosplay Cowboy Bebop.
Like, I could watch this show on YouTube and it would probably be better if, like, people just made it.
They only did 10 episodes of this series, and I feel like this episode was a really missed opportunity. I think it really doesn't do a good job having... I mean, we have not jack shit to say about this episode.
No.
It's been pretty easy to fill the time about all the other episodes. This is such a nothing of an episode of this show. And
we've already gone through all 3 storylines.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
We haven't really said a lot about Spike and Faye other than that you kind of like the bonding. Is there anything really
I
to
thought
say
it
there?
was cute
Some
until
of it's
he
really
like
corny,
came out
but-
in his bathrobe.
Did you see the close-up shot of Spike's feet?
No.
The first time he comes into the shot in the episode, it starts with like step into frame of a close-up of his bare feet, and they're not the best looking feet I've
That's
seen.
weird.
It's probably like a 4 on greatfeet.web.
That's really weird.
I thought that was strange. Yeah. I don't know. Now I'm just thinking about feet. I don't know what I was going to say outside
Well,
of that.
there was also the close-up, the scar show and tell.
I thought that was dumb.
Yeah, it was.
One of the things about the show is like in the cartoon or anime, I'm sure people get mad that I say cartoon, because there's a difference between cartoon and anime.
Here's I'm gonna let you know the real truth, Zach. Because I'm somebody who does like out loud.
Cartoon is a broad term for animated thing, but I feel like people.
Anime is specifically produced in Japan, but anime is literally the Japanese word for cartoon. Like that's what it means.
That's what I'm saying. Not every
all
cartoon
anime
is
are cartoons,
anime, but all
not
anime
cartoons.
is a cartoon.
Exactly.
But I could see why some people would feel like calling it a cartoon is belittling the art form.
I mean, you have a show like Code Lyoko. Like a lot of things that seem like they should be anime and Japanese are made in France because France is the country who's adopted the Japanese style the most. It's weird, animated connection there, but yeah.
I think the show, the quippy dialogue between Spike and Faye, it isn't fast enough. In the cartoon, they could have done them showing off their scars and stuff, and it would have been real fast. Cut. Mm-hmm. But here you've got like the breath, what they say, they pull their thing up.
I got this one from Tommy Two Tits in Temecula. Well, I got this one from Arnold Armhair.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's too much. Whereas in the anime, it would have been really, really fast, and it wouldn't have mattered that the joke isn't that funny.
It literally in the anime, I think it would have been more like, oh, I see. How'd you get that one? When somebody would have seen something, and then she would have been like, probably same way you got yours, and then show his, and that would have been it. You wouldn't have seen 11,000 scars. Or we'd have a moment like we do in the show where you see, or like we do in some stuff where you see a character shirtless and he has a bunch of scars on his back, and that tells you everything you need to know. Okay, got it.
They're not usually like, now this one I got, like they're showing off a coin collection.
Yeah!
What I want to ask you in these last couple minutes, is it right that this is the first episode of the show that you had not seen?
Correct.
How do you feel so far? Do you think you made the right call by turning it off when you did? Or
yeah, I think I stopped on a high.
You did, because last week was good.
I was really hoping that it would continue that trajectory, but I do not feel like it's gonna.
It's
keep
not
up
looking
with
great.
Last week's.
No, it's not looking great. I have faith that there will be one or two more episodes that we feel that way about. Mm-hmm.
I hope
better ones, but I don't think we're gonna end this. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna end the series the way I wanted to, and thinking like, oh man, this should have gotten more chance to grow.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty clearly a mess that kind of belittles the goodwill that Cowboy Bebop's built up over all these years.
Yeah,
because it kind of turns it into a different thing.
Well, and here's the thing, Zach. There have not been very many live action adaptations that have been better than bad. Unfortunately. Yeah. And which is why people are so apprehensive and shit on things before they come out, but this didn't do anything to help that.
Yeah, they sure do keep making them, don't they?
Yeah. There is like the One Piece one looks kind of interesting because the casting looks really good, but the casting looked really good in this one too to me. And I think it is good casting for the most part, but the writing is just
it's the writing and it's just the overall tone of the show. It feels like there are a bunch of different people that want this thing to be a bunch of different things, whereas Cowboy Bebop is so the thing that it set out to be from the moment it started. Clear. Its vision is very clear, fully realized before they ever put pen to paper, and that's just not the case here, which is sad because the blueprint was very much there.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap up this thing, now I feel sad. I know we've got 5 more of these. I hope they're fun.
You sound like me in the middle of season 6 of Community, Zach.
Yeah, I think this is worse than the worst episodes of season 6 of Community. You don't?
I don't think I had as much to make fun of for my own personal enjoyment in the worst of the season 6 episodes of Community.
That doesn't make it better.
I would rather be able to shit talk and laugh at something in an episode than feel nothing about it.
You're telling me let's not. Okay. Steven, who's your captain of the Bebop this week?
I wrote MVP.
I have no clue.
My captain of the Bebop, I want to give an honorable mention to Arnold Alexander Vicious himself. That's not Arnold Alexander. I just made that up. That's not canon.
I like it. I think that's canon
now. It's cute, right? I think Vicious gets an honorable mention for me because his line delivery was so fucking funny when he was like, "Fuck! Fearless." It was hilarious. And when his delivery of "I'll kill that bitch," so unnecessarily. Like she was like, "Oh, we maybe better play nice. I'll kill that bitch." Like, chill out. I think
With
that's
kindness.
hilarious. With kindness.
Isn't that what he says? With kindness.
He does, but I choose to cut it off and I kill that bitch.
You know, if that's all it takes to earn a captain of the Bebop, then I'm gonna play Fast and Loose 2.
Excuse me, that was my honorable mention, Zach. If you'd open your listening ears, I did not give my captain yet. I was just talking about my honorable mention. I have 3 more honorable mentions I want to do and then give full reasons for. No, just kidding. My MVP, my captain of the Bebop this week is Faye Valentine. I thought Faye was the funniest this week. I can't give it to Jet because he didn't know that his partner fucking betrayed him. Who the fuck do you think shot you in the arm? Also, open your eyes. Oh, it's a shadow of a fat guy with a gun who's a cop that pulled up, and it's only us here. Jesus. Yeah. But so it goes to Faye this week.
I think I'm going to go ahead and give my Captain of the Bebop this week to the man who likes to eat testicles of his vanquished foe.
The eunuch.
Because...
Do you know what a eunuch is?
We are few and far between. Our voices deserve to be heard, and it was great representation for my community, so good on the show for that.
So another stupid fucking thing about that. A eunuch is like somebody who's been castrated, right? So wouldn't he be like the eunuch maker? Like, he's not the eunuch.
No, that guy is smooth as a Ken doll down there.
She said, she's like, he has his
now,
balls.
He's got balls.
Yeah.
But if he's
she
the
said
eunuch,
he's got
wouldn't.
balls.
Yeah.
But he likes to cut pick a different fucking name. The debowler. The
eunuch
testimonial. Yeah.
Well, that's the show, everybody. I think we did it. It's been a mess, but I've had fun. I've
had a lovely time. This was great.
That sounded really hostile.
It was.
I've had
an
amazing time.
Fall kill that bitch!
All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. And if you're not back to hear us talk about the next live-action Cowboy Bebop, we will, in fact, be killing each and every one of you bitches.
With kindness.
Sure. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening. We will see you
and don't
next
forget,
time.
You don't get the prize unless your wife sings for me.
You know what else? You're right. But one other thing I thought that was dumb about this episode that I want to get out here. It ended with it to be continued, and it should have just ended with See You, Space Cowboy.
Yeah, this is the middle of a season. Every episode should end with to be continued at that rate. It was this fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
And it's not like in the original when they do it, when it'd be like Jupiter Jazz Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
Next week isn't whatever this episode was called. Darkside Tango Part 2.
Black Man Tango. Oh, I did like the Tango scene. That was fine. It was better Tango than I normally see.
The cut from Faye doing it in real life with the dog to doing it in the fantasy was funny.
I think that was funny. That was a good scene.
Now we have to end the podcast again. Goodbye, everybody. It's been swell.
Yeah, I just love that part where bye, everybody. Take care. And remember, fuck fearless.
Thanks for listening. Support this show and our podcast network at patreon.com/can'tdisappointpodcast, where starting at $5 a month, you can get immediate access to all 40 outrageous sessions of Brokeback Bebop. See you next time, Space Cowboy.